As a midlife woman, I'm willing to bet you've committed to a whole series of things in your life. Am I correct? Perhaps the raising of children, perhaps a career or three, perhaps owning your own business, a partner, whatever it is, I'm willing to bet you have definitely committed yourself to all sorts of things. But what I really want you to think about for a minute for me, if you will, is have you committed to yourself? So if this is an area of struggle for you, then hi, my name is Jen. I'm the founder and owner of Laughing Lotus Wellness, and I'm a transformational midlife purpose coach. And what I do is work with women who have hit midlife, and their question is there more? And my job is to help them find a resounding hell yes. Because I truly believe that what we can do in this stage of our lives is revolutionize the experience that we're having. And one of the things that we really want to do is get clarity around what your purpose is. I often find that sometimes people have mistaken roles and tasks for what their actually really deep meaning purpose is in the world. So that's number one. But two is to really kind of go in and make sense of some of the things that are happening for us, right? So if you're in midlife, it might be that you're empty nesting. It could be that you've got aging sick parents. It could be that you're having health issues. There's all kinds of things that show up for us in midlife. And so depending on where you are in your life, we kind of start to make sense of those things, right? And we use kind of this 5-part journey that I've created that's all about growth and development and moving your way out of kind of a space of maybe like feeling stuck all the way up into the space of feeling really empowered and excited about your journey again, and having you leave your time with me really clear on what you're going to do and how you're going to get there. So let's talk about for a second. So one of the things I love to do is draw on my experience of working with people for over 20 years in clinical work. So I have had a psychotherapy practice. Now I'm a coach. And so I've been around for a long time kind of working with women. And one of the things I want to do today is talk about committing to yourself. Okay. So first of all, I know some of you are like, oh, just got the shivers. So hang with me, okay? Because I know this is tough stuff to talk about. So what commit stands for is this: crafting ownership of your midlife magic to invest in and trust yourself. Okay. So what I really want you to do is begin to work on this idea of trust, which is coming next month. But we're going to start the very building blocks, right? This is the way that I coach. We start in one space and we move up each level, right? And so we can progress in our experience of how we want to do things differently, because to revolutionize midlife doesn't happen overnight. And so it's going to take us some time and energy to kind of recoup, redesign, and redefine what we really want. So today, my goal is to have you thinking about committing to yourself. I know hands down, I've got moms in here who've done all the things. Am I right? You've done PTA. You have done all of I've attended Chloe's, oh my God, I'm thinking about dressing up for Chloe's Halloween parties, right? And doing face paint for the kids in the classroom, providing meals at swim meets, right? I'm thinking of the million things that parents, moms do, right? So you're so accessible to others. And if someone asked you to pitch in for something like that, you would absolutely say yes. If someone asked you at work for support in a project, you would say yes. If your partner says, hey, I want to try this new thing in my life, would you be supportive? Of course you'd say yes. And what I really want you to see is that I think midlife women don't always hold on to the idea that to up level in your midlife journey, you're going to have to invest time, trust, and energy to yourself. And somebody can't do that for you, right? And so I said today, it's that to thine own self be true, which is so paramount, because every single thing that's good starts with you. Every single thing, if you have a deep sense of belonging, of value, of worthiness, of power, you treat everyone around you with that same regard. And also you're teaching them how to respect, honor, and love you. So this is a piece that many women can forget and sort of like swipe aside, is you're actually always training people how to support and hold space for you by what you're willing to tolerate and how you treat yourself. Also, if you are a mom by chance and you're listening, lean in, your kiddos are watching. By the way, if you're not a parent, your nieces and nephews are watching. If you're not that, if you're a teacher, the kiddos are watching. People, just trust me when I say lean into this, even other women are listening, they're watching. So every time you stand in your power and you commit to yourself, you're showing women how to do this. I can't tell you the number of conversations that I've had with Chloe as she's aged about the decisions I make and why. And I want her to witness my struggle because it's human. And I also want her to witness what I'm doing by making choices that are in alignment for myself. not over her dad, right? But like for me in my journey, I have to make sure that I'm honoring and witnessing this piece. It's so important to be teaching our kids right out the gate. So 2 pieces that I think are important to think about, and then a why. Okay, that's how this month's theme is going to work. One first thing I want you to do, ready? So I want you to lean into this. This might be tough, so just bear with me for a second. I want you to do a self-check. So I want you to imagine if I just right now this minute asked you to have a love affair with yourself, what was your initial response? Physically, spiritually, mentally, emotionally, what happened for you? Were you like, hell F yes, I'm going to have a love affair with myself. Hell yes, I'm going to take myself out on a date. Hell yes, I'm going to honor myself and respect myself and show myself the power and authority that I carry within me to the whole world. If you are like, yes, I'm a big and hot midlife woman and I'm going to freaking like just set this world on fire with my legacy, then you're awesome. Scale of 0 to 10, right? 0's not at all. I don't have any like idea of how to have a love affair with myself, or all the way to 10, like absolutely I've got it nailed down. Give yourself an assessment, not a judgment. I said assessment. Give yourself that awareness space to just like, where am I sitting with that? How did that hit you? Were you excited or were you like repulsed? Were you like, oh, you know what I'm saying, right? Did you just feel that? What was that like for you? One of the things I really want you to start paying attention to is the first thing that comes forward to you. What's the first thing that you notice when I ask you a question or I give you a prompt? I want you to kind of go, what's happening here, right? So I want you to lean into that for a second. Again, no judgment. I want you to just have the awareness, right? That's all we're doing is bringing awareness. No judgment. Okay. That's number 1. 2, I invite you to do a boundary self-care check. So this is an area that very often women are doing their lives in midlife and they're super successful. They've got all the things nailed down. They've checked the boxes, right? They are doing the things for their career, their home life, right? Their partnerships, their friendships, and their purpose, hopefully, right? Hopefully you feel like you're leaning into that. And so you're doing all these brilliant things, correct? And somehow you can still feel a little like pissed off, frustrated, resentful, exhausted. When someone asks you for something, you're like, I just can't do one more fucking thing. Have you ever had this experience? I just can't add one thing to my list. I've maybe only been there like a few gazillion times in my life. And you know you're tapped out. You're kind of tapped out. You know it. That's a really brilliant sign that your boundaries are a little askew. If at the holiday, I was just listening to a client talk about this. A sibling they were trying to make a meal plan and she was like, hey, can we have this, opportunity to have this kind of food? I've got a family member coming with me that really requires a special kind of diet. If you can't do it, I'll bring it. And they were like, oh yeah. And she got there and there was no food for this dietary need. And so, right, so this is that piece where I was really proud of her. She's done really powerful work with talking to this person in her life. Like, we talked about this, like I asked this of you and I was happy to bring something. And so, right, so this is where boundary work really starts firing up. And I think it's still a space where many women are shrink. We don't want to say something to our families, to our friends, to our business colleagues, to business owners. I can't tell you the number of times I squashed something that I felt like was on my heart that I should have said in my business. And that's a whole nother story for another day. We really want to watch that because this is a time and a space where we can really redefine these for ourselves, and they do shift. What you were once willing to tolerate in your life, you might be in a whole hell of a different space right now in midlife, right? So it's a brilliant time to start re-looking at, where am I? What do I want? Is this working for me? And I'm going to tell you, I'm always astounded in my midlife community, all over the space, in my coaching communities, people are still discussing boundary violations and boundary challenges. So I just want you to lean into that because when you respect your boundaries, you're respecting yourself. We'll be talking a lot about boundaries. Trust me, it's coming for you. The why. Why would you do this? Again, because when you love yourself first, you're teaching every single person around you how to respect you, what your limits and boundaries are, And furthermore, you're teaching people behind you with it, which at this stage of life, for midlife, for many of us, we're actually really wanting to craft and create impact and legacy, right? And so for us, I want you to think there are younger versions of you. I just was talking to another coaching client about this, and she is in finance. And so we've talked so much about how can she influence younger women who are diving into the field of finance and need a different kind of support and wisdom and insight into what that journey can be like so that they can stay in alignment for themselves and they don't get caught in some of the same traps that she has been. That's thinking. That's midlife thinking. It's forward thinking. How can I support what's going to be coming behind me in whatever facet that takes, right? Whatever that looks like. So I just wanted to drop in here and start you really moving this direction of I'm going to commit this month. And the first thing I want you to commit to out the gate, which is one of the toughest, is I want you to commit to yourself. I want you to ask yourself these questions, and I want you to understand the depth of why. I would furthermore encourage you, think of your why. What is your why about what brings you fire? Why would you show up? Why would you do the hard work? For me, I just know it has always been about family. It has been about my daughter. It has been about helping other women, like giving them like the cradle hand thing so that they can step up, so that they can stand in their power, or to heal. For me, there's just a whole various amount of reasons, kind of honestly, why it fires me up so much and why I show up the way that I do. And so I want you to think about that. What is it that you want to leave? What kind of impact do you want to create? And in the process of that, how much are you committing to yourself and investing and trusting yourself in your journey so that you can create those big pieces of legacy and carve out a space for what you want to leave for this next generation and the generation after that. And so I want you to start thinking about that. Okay, so if we jog something different today, and this was hard because sometimes I think thinking about ourselves as women is one of the most challenging pieces, like really easy, like I said, for us to give to others and not always so much for ourselves. But if you felt struggly today, if you were like, wait, what do you mean? A love affair with myself? Hell no. Then let's get on a call. Let's get together and let's chat about what was so hard about that for you, right? We want to really uncover and help you clarify so that you can get rid of some of the things that might be standing in your way. They're like roadblocks. We want to get rid of those so that you can stand in your full-on authority and glory and power as a woman to go out and do the things that you really want to do, and furthermore that you were meant to do. So you're welcome to reach out to me. Head on over to laughinglotuswellness.com and you can click connect and you can contact me right there, or you can always send me a DM and be like, hey Jen, I would love to hop on a call. Let's talk about this. I'd love to deepen my awareness about what it is for me that might be getting in my way of my committing to myself. So my friends, I am sending you so much love and light. I want to just surround you, right, in this beautiful energy that you can step into a space of doing something new. So my midlife woman friend, I hope that you're hearing this. I hope it's like landing directly in your soul for you. Like, I might want to take a look at this, and maybe boundaries are a thing. That's one of my favorite spaces to talk about and to teach too, because I think it's so powerful because we take it everywhere, right? These kinds of lessons are something we use every single day in every facet of our lives, right? So reach out if you'd like to hear a little bit more about that and how we might kind of finagle a different relationship with yourself in midlife. So I will plan on seeing you next time, my friends. Blessings, love, and light. This is Jen signing off, supporting you to revolutionize midlife as you rise on your path to purpose. Take care.